Well, hello there, YouTube. Mr. Gibsonguy here with you. Thank you for dropping by the channel. It's good to see you today. And today I have something different for you. This is an adventure story. This really is a real story that I went through. But it's actually got a story to it. And I'm going to tell you, this is my quest, the search for the mystical, magical camera lens that gives us the perfect light that we need. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and take you on the story. Here we go. This started a couple of months ago. This is we're right at the very end of May now. It started about March, April, somewhere around there. And I have had this kind of camera collecting thing going on here, not just for YouTube, but I have a camera store on eBay, and I buy stuff, and if I like it, I hold on to it. If I don't care for it, I sell it. And I've gone through quite a few things. And the thing when you do something like this, you got to be real careful, because you don't want to get attached to the merchandise. Something that you buy because you're going to turn around and resell it. You think you get a good price and you can sell it for more. Something like that. Investment towards selling. It's like take it out of one box, put it in another box, and put it right back up there for UPS or the mailman to pick up. And you want to do that way. You don't want to get personally involved with these things. And I went into this being retired and having a little bit of disposable income, just to kind of entertain myself and fulfill memories of youth when all these cameras were coming about, just appearing for the first time, and I was just in glory. Look at all these cameras. I can't afford all of them, but I'd love to own them. And I have a lot of cameras now. Most all of them are from that golden age of photography, and I'm continually on the quest to find something, the ultimate camera, the ultimate lens, what's really the whole thing. But I started doing it out very much on a budget. I spend $50 here, $100 there, and turn around and sell it, and then sell some more, and buy some more, and sell some more. And little by little, and I got to have this cabinet, and then got to where it started getting pretty full. It's got 22 or 23 cameras in it right now, maybe not counting a couple that are here on the counter here, but these are subjects of the story. So, in the story, I had been keeping it down on the down low, but I was getting to where, I have some interesting cameras and some kind of like la-di-da cameras, but I'm interested in raising the stakes a little bit higher, going higher, a little bit more expensive for some camera that is a really cool camera, but is more money. And the one I really settled on a couple months ago was the Olympus OM4 Ti, or titanium. The OM4 titanium comes in two colors. They originally came out with a black one, and then they came out with their chrome one, kind of a champagne chrome. And the problem is that the titanium is really tough, but the paint is not. And they painted the black one. And so when you buy one of these things, it's 30-some years old, it's going to have a bunch of chips and a bunch of brassing. And that's okay for some things. You are talking about antique cameras, maybe you expect some brassing on them. But when you're buying something expensive, you want to have something that looks real kind of nice. Like, I spent $300 on this, not $89. There's a lot of difference. So you kind of, if you notice, the black ones are all brassed and beat up pretty badly, but a lot of the chrome finish ones aren't. let's see if I can show you this. I don't know if I'll show you, but there's little bits of wear in the corners on these. And if you look at it, you can see it's kind of like it chips away, and there's kind of like a golden champagne color that's shinier than the semi-matte finish on the paint. But unless you look at it real close, you don't even notice that there's any brassing on it. So, and it's really cool when you have brass cameras like this OM1, and then you look at it side by side to the titanium finish. I think you can see a little bit of difference there. Let's see if I can show it from the back. Back and the top. You can see that. See that? The regular chrome and the champagne chrome. So it's kind of a unique color. But I really fell for it. I don't know, it's kind of like a color that old people would get on their Camry or their Civic or their Accord. But this is on the Olympus OM4. So I was looking for these things, and I found that, yeah, like the lowest price for a decent working one was about $300, plus $40 for shipping, or $289.60 for shipping. People were gouging everybody on it. So you see a lot of them out there, but you got to look around and decide, all right, I'm willing to go this far. That's how far I will go. And so I was looking for the best deal. Generally, they're selling without a lens, just the camera body for $300 plus shipping, or for $350 plus $10 shipping. You know, they play those games on there. But I found this one, and it was the camera, and it also included a 28mm Zuiko f3.5 lens. Well, before I got this, just before this, I had kind of gone into the lenses for some Zuiko lenses, and I invested in a 35mm f2.8 and a 28mm f2.8. Really compact little lenses, and they're just they look like little pieces of jewelry or something. They're so exquisite. So I already had a 28mm, and I'm thinking I don't want to buy a second one, but I have a camera store. So I have this other way of looking at it, and that is that I can buy the camera with the lens for $300. I can take the lens off. The package came with the 28mm lens, the Olympus branded lens case with the strap for it, and the filter, and the front and rear Olympus official caps that went on it. So I could buy this for $300, and I knew I could sell the lens with its case and covers and filter and everything for $60. So you do the math, and it's basically, I was getting an OM4 Ti without lens for $240. That was a great deal. And who needs a 28mm f3.5? You know, you need an f2.8 or an f2. The lower the number, the better, right? I don't need this f3.5, but I'll sell it. So I ordered it. I was really excited about it too, and I'm counting the days, and I had ordered it from Japan, so that means that they ship it to you the same day that as soon as you hit purchase, put them in the mail, and they fly it here, and it comes to you in 2 days from Japan. And so I got my OM4 Ti with the little lens on it, and first thing I did was take it outside to where I shoot my ads, and take my digital camera out there and take pictures of it and show them everything. And I go right on the computer. I haven't even looked at the camera yet. Right on the computer and put in the pictures, put my ad up, And within an hour, somebody made me an offer. I barely even put it on the camera yet. But somebody said, all right, 60 bucks, I'll give you 30. And I thought, well, that was pretty quick interest, but I'm not gonna let it go for 30 bucks. You know, maybe that's it, but it looks to me like I could get more on these because there seems to be a market for them, oddly enough. Usually the f3.5, the super slow version, like they have an f1.8, an f2, an f2.8, and an f3.5 is like for the people that wanted, oh, you get the extra $29 lens, that sort of a thing. That's how it hit me. But you know, who knows what my Tanny is thinking at Olympus. He's doing all kinds of things. So I get it and I put the lens on it. I don't take the first offer. That's just kind of insulting. So you can give it a try, but I'm not going to answer you. So I got it and I put the lens on it because I got the other ones up on the display and I need to have a lens on it. And I got a couple of 50s and the 28 and the 35. And I got a 35 to 70 zoom. I got plenty of Olympus lenses now to kind of flesh it out. And I got an extra 28. So I got the 28 on it, and I like using, you know, I didn't put film in it. The camera works, everything's been checked out and it works great. But I just like the camera and it looks kind of dumb with a lens cap on it. Looks right with a lens on it, and that was the lens that came with it, so I left it on there. And I kind of get used to the chrome bezel around the front and the shiny brand where they put all the lettering in, and they use a special bright white font on it, and it's kind of classic looking, and it starts to blend in with the champagne chrome on the lens to match the camera body. So this is a really nice looking outfit, and the older lens is a different aesthetic than the later models, which are just all black with white letters. But this one with some shiny black and some chrome and stuff like that really shows up well, and I start getting kind of attached to this camera. But I have it, and I think, all right, well, I'm going to sell that lens, and because I got it to sell, so I must be selling it. So I'll just leave it on here for a little while and see, maybe I should have gone with the 30 bucks, but you know, we'll let the days turn into weeks and the weeks turn into a month or something and see how it goes. Well, I put that aside and think, all right, I'm going to stop buying cameras. You know, I always think that I'm going to stop buying cameras. I really think anybody ever does that. You know, you die, I mean, there's that, but you don't stop buying cameras and lenses and stuff. Gotta have it. So I start noticing some Minolta equipment. Now I had a Minolta XD11 because that's a really cool camera that Minolta made back in the day. Maybe their king of cameras. It was a great, magnificent camera, one of the greatest cameras made. And I picked one up because I found it for under $100 with a 50mm f1.4 Rollcore X. Beautiful lens. And so it wasn't working, but I got it working. So that just took batteries. It took some effort, but I did get it back, and so now it's fully functional XD11. And that was another thing that I do with my cameras. I get some that are kind of messed up, and I'm learning enough about them to get them to work again. So that's kind of a nice thing to do on the side. But I start expanding into some Minoltas, and then I started getting bodies without lenses, and I got to the point where I went into the X1. Here's what this one is. I have got two X1s now, and I got both of them without camera lenses, just the camera bodies. So I started shopping around for some lenses, and I thought, just like I had done with the 28 and the 35. I have 28, 35 Olympus, 28, 35 and 24 in Nikon, and a 28 and a 35 in Canon. And I came across this 28 millimeter f2.5 Rokkor X MC. Let me see if I give you the full designation on it here. Yeah, the Rokkor MCW, because it's a wide angle. Rokkor X SI 1 to 2.5 f28 millimeters. That's this one here. Found this lens and it was like 60 bucks, 59. So, okay, I had heard that the Minolta lenses were a little bit better bargain, a little cheaper. So I ordered it, but I ordered it on Mercari, and Mercari's a good place to go to find cheaper prices on stuff. But the people on Mercari, for some reason, are challenged. If you order something on eBay, you'll get it. If it's from Japan, you'll get it overnight, just about, but 2 days maybe at the most. But if you order from the States, and you live in the States, it takes considerably longer. It usually takes less than a week for you to get something on eBay. You order it from Mercari, it's like Times a magazine to them. It doesn't matter. We'll send it eventually, maybe. And so you got to wait a while. So I was excited. I had my order in for my 28 millimeter f2.5 MC Rokkor X WSI. But I knew, order from Mercari, I was going to save some money, but I was going to wait for a while. And so I did. I waited for a while. And to keep myself occupied, I started doing research on this lens. I mean, when I saw it, I thought, I'm buying it. It's a good price. It looks cool. It's an MC Rokkor. Those are good. I'm going to go for it. It says it's no fungus, no dust. And so I just went ahead and ordered it, knowing I would wait. So then while I'm waiting, I start researching my lens. And I thought, well, you know, an f2.5 is like a little bit fast. It's not f2. It's not f1.8. It's not f1.4. Minolta makes some of those, and those are, you know, $500, $600, $800 today. There's pretty expensive ones like Canon, but the real fast ones. But an f2.5 is not especially fast. It's 3 faster than an f2.8. You know, it's not much. So I figure it's not a big deal. And then I look them up, and I'm seeing their prices are pretty steep. And these are running from, you know, low hundreds up to 200, and then a little bit over 200. And I'd done it for 60 or something, and I'm thinking, well, that was a good deal if it ever gets here, if I live that long. And I start going through it, and then I get to this one, and I set the computer up so that I got this, my purchase on one page, and on the next page I have the going down the line from eBay, and I can just click back and forth so I can compare the lens. And this lens looks exactly, the lens in the eBay ad looks exactly like this lens does in real life. It's the very same lens. It's the MC version of the Rokkor X 28mm f2.5 with a long barrel. It's a lot longer barrel than you usually see on a 28mm. Here's a 28mm. It happens to be a 2.5 even, and you can see that's, the Minolta is quite a bit longer. This is a Tamron. Goes on any of the cameras, so I got a wide angle for everything. But this lens I'm looking at, and I look at a bunch of them, and they have them, and they're selling them for a real princely sum compared to the 60 bucks I paid. And then I flip down to one, and it's another one of the same lenses, and there I see, it says in the headline, Minolta MCW Rocore X SI f2.5 or 1 to 2.5 f28 millimeter lens, and then it has the magic word thorium. Thorium. That is the magical mystery word now. That's the thing for lenses. Back in the thorium started out, it was a Kodak trademark, patent in 1945. They were experimenting with thorium glass in lenses for bomb sights. It was in B-29 time, so they had some high-flying bombers. Not these 17s or 24s, it's some of the high-flying stuff. Go up to 30,000 feet with their turbochargers. So that's why people are getting a couple $100 for these. This is a thorium lens. And I saw that, and I thought back to the 1977 when I got my first Minolta, and I was reading through the book, and I remember the page with the crushed glass on the picture, and it's Minolta is one of two companies that not only make their own cameras, they make their own lenses, and they make their own lens glass. And only two companies in the world make their own glass. And they include rare earth elements like thorium. So I had read about that way back when I was still in my 20s, a long time ago. But here it was again. And oddly enough, this $60 lens that I had ordered had the magic thorium glass in it. And so now I'm really starting to build up my anticipation. So I get on YouTube while I'm waiting and waiting for Macquarie to deliver my lens. Well, not FedEx, but for somebody from Macquarie to go ahead and send the lens that I bought before they find out what they got and change their mind. So I start researching this more and more, and I start finding, it's tricky to do this, but you can look at thorium lenses and Minolta or Canon, Pentax and Canon went crazy with the thorium. With the Minolta, I find that basically it was confined to two lenses. One was a early, I think it might have been a pre-MC, it might have been an SR series, but it's an early 58 millimeter f1.2 that had thorium glass in it. And they had several different models, apparently, as you discover over the years. You know, the one from 66 to 68, and then from 69 to 72, and then 72 to 73. But by 1980, they're all gone. But and the other Minolta with thorium glass was the early MC 28 millimeter f3.5. f2.5, that's it. I got mixed up my 28s there. This lens, this very lens right here, was the lens. It was the 1.2 58 millimeter and the 28 millimeter 2.5. That was their lenses. Now, if you go further and further, apparently there was some limited productions of some 50 millimeter f1.2s and 58 millimeter f1.4s that may have had some thorium in them at different times. And the one that I'd really be interested in seeing, and you don't see much about this, is they had a thorium 85 millimeter f1.7. That was it. Yes, that was a weird one. 85 f1.7. I have in Nikkor. I have an 85mm f2, but a 1.7 would be 3 faster than an f1.2 than an f2. So finally, Mercari comes through. The stagecoach comes through town, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything with this, but let's try this way. If you can see, maybe you can see through there. But with these thorium lenses, and this is 50-year-old lens, and I don't think it's ever been treated. I don't know if you can see it on this, but when you put this camera or this lens on the camera and you look through it, it's, especially if you look out to the sun, to the blue sky and the clouds, it's sunset with this lens right away, because it puts a real bright orange tint on everything, and that is the result of the radiation of the lens over a period of 50 years, radiating off materials that stick to the other elements, and it gradually turns kind of a brown color. The cure for it is you can put it under ultraviolet light for several hours, or if you're brave, you can go out in the middle of the day and put your lens out where the sun shines through it. Just be careful with what's underneath, because your lens will focus that very bright, very hot sunlight, and it'll burn anything that's underneath it. So be careful where you put it, but that's if you want to treat it. So I got my X1, XK, XM, whatever you want to call it. Kind of has an identity crisis going on for the different names for the Minolta here. But I got my 28mm thorium lens, and I finally, unlike what I had done with this, put some film in the camera, because the camera was, oh no, I didn't use the XM, that's right, I used the XE1, which was supposed to be working. I had gotten it working, but I hadn't gotten it working lately, and it sort of semi-worked, but not great. I don't know, maybe the battery was getting low on it or something, but anyway, I should use the XK, but I took my Minolta on a Minolta camera, and I went and shot a whole roll of film, and I've taken that in. I went to downtown Inverness by the lake, and it's kind of a quaint old town. It's very picturesque, and has the lakefront right there, right behind the sheriff's office, and a bunch of walkways where you can walk and tour all around the lake. And there's an alligator there, and it was early mornings. I didn't get the sunrise, but I got some nice, there's still a lot of dew on all the plants, and lots of bokeh out there and stuff to take pictures of. And it looked great through the viewfinder, so I can't wait to get those pictures and see how they worked. But now I got myself my thorium lens and cameras that will work with it. And so I figure I'm really going somewhere. So I'm still studying up on this. And what happened was that when I first went out with trying to do some cool pictures, just focusing and lining them up, not actually taking any pictures, no film, just kind of going through it, was that I got this beautiful images with this Olympus with that little 28mm f3.5 lens that came with it, and then I sold it. And I got this, so I kind of transferred all my love to this one here. Boy, this is awesome. And so I started researching some more stuff, and I came across this. Now I'm just like thorium, or on the thorium quest. What else is a thorium lens? I gotta find one somewhere. I gotta learn more about this. This is like the secret in photography that we want to get the answer to. So I start researching this stuff, and I come up with this long scroll list of different cameras that people have tested for radiation with a Geiger counter on these lenses. And there's a bunch of Argus and Graflex and Acme, I don't know, all of these long gone Kodak, long gone lens manufacturers from yesteryear that turned out these lenses that have like pounds of thorium in them, and they're just radioactive and they glow at night. No, they don't really, but they came across these, and I'm going down this list, and I get to the M's, and I get, oh, Minolta, okay. So I find out the 58mm f1.2, the 28mm f2.5, and then the 1.4, and the 85mm 1.7. There's some mention of those there. And then I keep going, and under M, Nikon doesn't really have much to do with thorium as far as anybody finding any in Nikons. They kind of started out the ED thing, and ED glass, extra low dispersion. That was their thing, and maybe they just never bothered with the thorium. I don't know. Who knows? But nothing N. But after N comes O, and guess what? There's a couple of just like 2 lenses listed for Olympus that are radioactive. One is a 50mm f1.2, of course. If the f1.2s, they're gonna have brown elements. They're gonna have thorium in them. But I'm not making this up. The number 2 Olympus is the 28mm f3.5. The lens that I was so attached to because it had this gorgeous light going through it like I've never seen before was a thorium lens. For some unknown reason known only to my Tanny, Olympus decided to build a cheap-ass little lens that they put thorium glass in. I don't know why. I don't know how many people know about this, but then I started looking it up, and there's information about it. So now I don't think I could get any more emotionally twisted up than I was when I found that out. This lens that I loved was thorium glass, and I didn't know it, and I sold it for $60. Oh, I told you this was an adventure story. Anyway, so I thought about it for a few days and finally calmed down and came to my senses and went right on eBay, and I ended up spending a few bucks more than I sold the first one for, but I had to have it. And here's the end of the story. The OM4 Ti now once again has a 28mm f3.5 thorium lens mounted on the front of it where it stays, and it will be the official lens of the OM4 Ti. Titanium and thorium together. That is the finale to the story. That and the fact that this weighs about half of what this Minolta weighs. And they're both 28mm lenses. What do you think? So that's my story on the search for the mystical, magical thorium camera lens. I hope you enjoyed the story, and come by again for another one. Check back with the channel. I'm always out here. So today I'll say goodnight. Until next time, this is Mr. Gibsonguy, and I'm out of here.